Hello everyone, good morning to all. I am Ankita Bhagat, your science teacher from Sajanand English Medium School at Nathej. So students, in previous session, part 1, we will discuss about the shape of amoeba. So you know very well the shape of amoeba is irregular. In fact, amoeba has no definite shape. You cannot define the shape of amoeba. We already discussed in previous section, right? But one more example of single cell, that is WBC. Here you can see that it is the WBC. Now what is the full form of WBC? The full form of WBC is white blood cell. Remember it. It is important for your MCQ question, right? So the full form of WBC is white blood cell and it is present in human body. And this is the another example of single cell which can change its shape. So the WBC, it is the another example of a single cell which can change its shape, same as to amoeba, right? But while WBC is a cell, but WBC is only cell. WBC is only cell where amoeba is full-fledged organism capable of independent existence. So the amoeba is a full body organism which can perform the different functions like respiration, reproduction, digestion, locomotion. It is the full body organism. Again I repeat, the WBC is only cell where amoeba is full body organism. It is capable to perform the function like reproduction, respiration, digestion and locomotion, etc. Right? So these are the information about the single cell. But what would you expect in the organism with the millions of cells? What would you expect the organism which has the multicellular organism? So in figure number 8.4, ABC given that shows the different cell such as which one cell? That is the blood cell, muscle cell and nerve cell. Here the figure of, you can see here the blood cell, muscle cell and nerve cell respectively, right? So the different shapes are related to the specific function. So all the different shapes are related to the different function. It means the different cell can perform the different function in our body. So generally cells are round, spherical and elongated. Generally cells are round, spherical and elongated, right? So some cells are long and pointed at the both end. You can see in the figure some cells are long and pointed from the both end. Here you can see in the figure, here the long cell but the pointed to the both end. And they exhibit, they consider in the spindle cell. We can say that consider in the spindle cell. The spindle shape is long and pointed to the both end, right? And the cells sometimes are quite long, some are branch like the nerve cell. And some cells are the quite long and some are branch like the nerve cell. You can see in the figure here the figure of nerve cell. It is the quite long and the branch like a structure. And the nerve cell is also called the neuron cell, right? The nerve cell receives and transfers the message, therefore thereby helping the control and coordinate the working of different parts of our body. But here one more question arises. how to nerve cell work. Now let us discuss in detail. Here the structure of nerve cell, right? So in that given dendrites, cytoplasm, nucleus, cell body, axon, myelin sheath, terminal branches. So in place of terminal branches you can write here nerve end, right? Now let us discuss the functions of different parts, right? Now here cytoplasm, here the cytoplasm is the jelly like structure in cell, right? And here the nucleus which is in center, and this one is the cell body. You can say also the cytone, we can say that also cytone, right? So cytone or a cell body which contains a cytoplasm and nucleus in center. So the cell body or the cytone contains the cytoplasm. Here the jelly like structure is the cytoplasm and the nucleus with its center. It also contains the numerous fine structure, fine thread like structure. It also contains the thread like structure is called nerve fiber, right? Now what is the function of dendrites? So the dendrites is the short fiber on the cell body. Here the dendrites is the short fiber on the cell body. You can see here it is the short fiber on the cell body, right? And their function is to bring the information from brain. Now what is the function of dendrites? To bring the information to the brain, right? Now next we have that is axon. What is the function of axon? So the axon is the largest nerve fiber in the nerve cell. The axon, there are the many nerve fiber in that. So the axon is the largest nerve fiber in the nerve cell, and it carries the information away to the cell body, and it carries the information to one nerve cell to the connective other nerve fiber. So it also has the insulating protective sheath. So axon has the also insulating protecting sheath is called myelin sheath. So it is called the axon, and around that the insulating protecting sheath is called myelin sheath, right? And here is the nerve end. So what is the function of nerve cell? So the nerve cell help in the transfer of message from various body part to brain. So nerve cell transfer the message from various body part to brain or brain to the various body part, right? So these are the function and these are the function and the structure of the nerve cell that is not given in your textbook. Now again back to our topic. Can you guess which part of the cell give its shape? Let us discuss. So component of the cell are enclosed. Here given that the component of the cell are enclosed in a membrane. So this membrane provides the shape to the cells of plant cell and animal cell. Again I repeat, the component of the cell are enclosed in the membrane which is called cell membrane, right? So the component of the cell are enclosed in the membrane is called cell membrane. So which type of components like nucleus, cytoplasm and all. So these components are enclosed. Suppose here the cell In that, the nucleus, cytoplasm, right? So these all are enclosed in the cell membrane. And this membrane provides the shape to the cell. Shape to the cells of plant cell and animal cells. And the cell wall is an additional covering. So over the cell membrane there are again the additional covering. It's called cell wall. Now I think you are clear about the cell wall and cell membrane, right? So the cell wall is an additional covering over the cell membrane in plant cell, and it gives the shape and rigidity to this cell. So the cell wall is rigid, and the bacterial cell has also a cell wall, right? Now you clear about the cell wall and cell membrane. So again I repeat, the cell wall is the inner layer of the cell membrane is the inner layer of cell, is called cell membrane, and the cell wall is the outer layer of cell, is called cell wall, and the cell wall is rigid. Now the next topic we have, that is the sizes of cell. Let us discuss. So the sizes of cell in a living organism may be small as a millionth of meter, such as micrometer or micron. Again I repeat, the sizes of cell in living organism may be small as millionth of meter, that is micrometer or micron. So that's why in study of cell, scientists use the instrument which is microscope, right? So however, most of the cell are microscopic. These are the cell are microscopic in size, that's why we need the microscope, and are not visible to the unaided eyes. So these are the too small, that's why it is not able to see with the naked eyes. That's why we need the enlarge or magnifying by a microscope. So the smallest cell is 0.1 to 0.5 micrometer. Smallest cell is the 0.1 to 0.5 micrometer, where the largest cell is 170 mm to 130 mm. Remember, it is important for your MCQ question, right? So the smallest cell between 0.5 to 0.1 to 0.5 micrometer, whereas the largest cell, that is 170 mm to 130 mm. So the 0.1 to 0.5 micrometer, it means it is the 10 lakh times smaller than meter, right? And the largest cell, that is the 170 mm to 130 mm, is the egg of ostrich. Now here activity 1.2 is given to you. Boil a hen's egg. That is, do at your home, right? So boil a hen's egg. Remove the cell. What do you observe? Now after remove the cell, you observe that a white material surrounded the yellow part. So white material is albumin, which solidifies on boiling. So before boiling it is in liquid form, but when you boil it becomes a solid, right? And the yellow part is yolk. It is the part of the single cell, and you can observe this single cell with the naked eyes. Without magnifying device, you can see the single cell, right? So the size of the cell has no relation with the size of the body of animal and the plant. So the size of the cell has no relation. Again I repeat, the size of a cell has no relation with the size of a body of the animal or plant. It is not necessary that the cell in an elephant be much bigger than those in a rat. It is not necessary the cell in elephant is bigger than the rat. Right? It means the size of cell does not depends on the size of body of animal. The size of cell is only related to its function. It is not depends on the size of animal, it is only depends on its function. For an example, nerve cell both in animal and rat. So the nerve cell are present in an elephant and the rat. In both they are long and branch. They perform the same function and that transferring the message. So the nerve cell are present in the both elephant and rat and they perform the same function in both bodies. So that's why we can say that the size of a cell does not depend on the size of body of animal. Right? So now the next topic we have, that is cell structure and function. Now let us discuss about cell structure and function. You have learned that all living organism has many organs, right? So you already learned that each living organism has many organs, and you already studied in class 7 that the digestive organ which together constitute the digestive system. Again I repeat, the digestive organ which together constitute the digestive system. You already in class 7 in chapter 2 nutrition in animal, you learn about the digestive system in human beings and plant. Now each organ in the system perform different function such as digestion, egestion, assimilation, absorption. Now let us discuss in detail the function of digestive organ. Here the first step is egestion. Here given egestion, then digestion, absorption, assimilation and egestion. So in the first step, egestion, when we take food from the mouth or buccal cavity, the food is mixed with the saliva and break it down in the small pieces. And after that, the partially digested food will pass through the esophagus into the stomach. And into the stomach, the digestion of protein will be start. So into the stomach, the digestion of protein will be start, and after that the partially digested food will pass in the small intestine, and in the small intestine will absorb the protein, vitamin, etc. So this process is called absorption. Now the next step we have, that is assimilation. In assimilation means transportation of absorbed substances to the different part of our body. It is the process is called assimilation. Now the last step is egestion. So the undigested food removal through the anus in the egestion process, right? So these are the digestive system. And here you learn that there are the different organ perform the different functions, and this organ made up of a term tissue. Now let us discuss about tissue, right? So here you can see that a tissue. So tissue are a group of cells that have a similar structure and act together to perform a specific function. Again I repeat the definition. The tissue are a group of cell. Here you can see the group of cell. So tissue are a group of cell that have a similar structure and act together to perform a specific function. So for an example that is given in figure, so through the diagram you can easily understand entire process, right? So here one cell is given to you. You can see here the one cell is given to you. If the group of similar cell join together, here the one cell and here the similar cell, the same cell has the group of cell join together and it made up of tissue, right? And now the number of tissue joined together and made up of a body organ. So here given in figure the liver, right? So these are the organ. It means the single cell joined together, the number of cell made up of tissue and the number of tissue joined together are made up of a single organ. The same in the plant cell. Here the one cell is given to you. After that the number of cell, the group of cell joined together and made up of tissue, and this number of tissue and the group of tissue made a organ that is leaves. So I hope you all are understood about the tissue. I think you clear about the tissue, right? So students, our session is over here. I hope you all are understood very well. Now remaining chapter we will complete in next session. Thank you. Have a nice day.